You got autism or something? What the fuck was that?
I was trying to cry at the Star Wars.
Are you gonna burp the Star Wars soon?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Hey Dan,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Nah.
So we saw Star Wars recently, the brand spanking new Star Wars movie.
The most recent Star Wars movie?
Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and boy did it fucking suck.
The Last Jedi? I wish it was the last Star Wars.
It should be the last Star Wars, but unfortunately it's not. Disney are going to keep making them. But people seem to agree with us. Our video got like 5,000 views. There was a lot of interesting comments on there, and a couple things I just wanted to talk about. I just wanted to read some of these comments and see what you think of them.
Okay.
So this guy commented, and he was like, he likes the film. And I was thinking, okay, well, it's interesting to hear the point of view from someone who likes the movie. And he made several points, so I'll read them out, and then you can explain why they were all wrong and terrible opinions.
I'll see what I can do.
He says, feel free to correct me, go ahead, but I don't understand these major fan complaints. Number 1, Leia flying through space is bullshit. I can admit that it looked strange for a Star Wars movie. There are some Mary Poppins and Superman associations, true, but that's a matter of taste. Other folks said they loved how it looked. Anyways, I always wondered why Leia is the only one in the Skywalker family who has no Force powers. Maybe because they only decided before Return of the Jedi that Leia should be Luke's sister. Making Leia a Jedi would be awkward. I think Johnson found a kind of poetic way to show Leia's Force potential hidden within her. That finally showed up to save her life. That's not stupid at all. We have seen much more stupid Force powers, brackets Force speed, but feel free to think that it looked stupid. It does look stupid.
Yeah.
They could have made it look cool. It should just not happened. What you're saying about like, oh, Leia should be strong in the Force, and it's like, but she's not trained.
Yeah, that's all there is to it. Is
Yeah.
just, hey,
Leia has
she
the
got
Force.
the midichlorians,
Yeah,
but
so
she don't got
she
the
didn't have the
training.
training. Yeah, but they're doing it like with Rey as well. Where they're like, she don't have the training. Who cares?
She got that midichlorians.
Yeah, so
though.
she's just strong. Who cares? And that's what, because it's like, and he
Midichlorians.
says, oh, they didn't know whether Leia was going to be a Skywalker before Return of the Jedi. Yeah, but in Empire Strikes Back, Leia is able to talk to Luke. Like, Luke calls out for Leia, and then Leia responds, and then finds him.
Yeah.
So clearly she did have the Force.
She had some.
Yeah, some ability to talk, and she does that again in Force Awakens when Han dies. She's able to sense it. In The Last Jedi, she's able to tell when she's able to talk to Luke. And then she knows that Luke dies, so that's shown. But then having her fly through space is just incredibly powerful for someone that's never seen using any physical Force powers.
Yeah.
Someone I've seen explained where it's like, oh yeah, in space there's no gravity, so all you really need to do is use the Force to slightly push you in one direction, and then you'll just fly all the way there. But she still didn't freeze to death and was able to breathe, which is dumb.
She was breathing the Force.
Yeah. The main problem is that Carrie Fisher's dead, and now
So-
Leia's still alive.
Yeah, dragging her lifeless corpse through this franchise is just...
Well, they've already been able to completely recreate her in CGI,
Yeah.
so I guess they don't need her. There was a rumor going around that Mark Hamill hated The Last Jedi so much they decided to kill him off, and that he didn't know he was going to die in the film. So they didn't tell him, and then he went to the premiere and he's like, oh, I died.
I said to Ryan, Jedis don't give up. I mean, even if he had a problem, he would maybe take a year to try and regroup. But if he made a mistake, he would try and right that wrong. So right there, we had a fundamental difference. But it's not my story anymore. It's somebody else's story. And Ryan needed me to be a certain way to make the ending effective. That's the crux of my problem. Luke would never say that. I'm sorry. Well, in this version, see, I'm talking about the George Lucas Star Wars. This is the next generation of Star Wars. So I almost had to think of Luke as another character. Maybe he's Jake Skywalker. He's not my Luke Skywalker.
I get that scene where he was just like, oh, that's good. Okay, yeah, I just, I don't go to the thing, but I'll meet up with everyone later.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know when you've got the script for the next movie. Don't worry, Mark, we'll let you know.
You're fired. Also, you're never allowed to say anything about Star Wars ever again. He says, they shitted on Luke's character. The fuck? I heard that some fans are disappointed that Luke hasn't achieved anything as a Jedi. How do you know that? Nearly 40 years after Return of the Jedi have passed, Even if he trained Kylo plus stayed on the island for a total of 25 years, there are 15 years in which Luke could have had the greatest adventures. There is literally space for 100 cheap fan novels about Luke being a shiny hero. Yeah, who cares?
I don't care!
It's the finale of the character, that's what pisses me off.
Well, they literally talk about all the things he's done that anyone mentions is the stuff he did fighting the Empire.
Yeah.
They never mention anything else.
Yeah.
In the great life of Luke Skywalker.
They show you...
hero of the rebellion.
Yeah. They show
Nothing
you,
else is mentioned.
He built a Jedi Academy,
Yeah.
and then he tried to kill his nephew, and then he lived on an island for 20 years. What great adventures he could have with the Porgs. It doesn't matter. The thing that pissed me off is how they ended his character.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
just
awful.
like, oh yeah, everything he achieved in Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, it's all gone, null and void. He learned, even though the guy that saved his dad, the second most evil person in the galaxy, learned that it was better to just give up on his nephew.
To be fair, at the point they saved him, he was probably really the most evil guy because he already killed the other guy.
Oh yeah, he already killed the Emperor.
He threw him down that shaft.
But still, it's like,
Then-
that's not what I'm complaining about. It's like, what's he gonna do on the island for 10 years? 10 years of him milking that weird alien thing.
He fucked any of the weird, like, lizard ladies.
Maybe he did. Maybe he does have kids in the canon,
Yeah.
and they're weird monster children.
I'm just so, fuck it, next movie, just have some fucking, like, blonde-haired guy show up and just be, like, just be, like, amazing at everything, just have bullshit, like, Mary Sue guy, and just be like, yeah, Luke Skywalker was my father.
Yeah, and it's this weird lizard man.
And everyone's just kind of like, oh, okay, this
He's
blonde-haired
got a
lizard
pet
guy.
porg that sits on his shoulder the whole time.
Yeah, he has Luke's lightsaber.
Yeah, for some reason.
Well, because Luke
finds it, yeah.
Luke didn't have it in that movie, did he?
Yeah, he lost it somewhere, but he found it.
Yeah.
Weird lizard man.
Well, he took it. He took it and went, I'm sick of your island, Dad. I'm gonna go on my adventures.
That was another thing. In the film, he says, oh, I came to this island to die. I didn't want anyone to find me.
Just kill yourself, faggot.
Why did you make a map and give it to R2-D2 if you didn't want anyone to find you? That's more disconnect between J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. Clearly, J.J. Abrams set stuff up that he didn't know how it was going to go.
Yeah.
And Rian Johnson came in and he was like, I don't like any of this. I'll just scrap all of it. And then J.J. Abrams has to come back and be like, well, fuck, I set up stuff that you've ruined and now I have to do something else. So that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
It's like if George Lucas set up stuff in Star Wars and then gave it to Avon Kirshner. He's like, don't like any of this. I'm going to kill off Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Do all this shit.
Hey, what if, after all the Darth Vader stuff in the original trilogy, what if he went a different direction with the prequels? Like, it doesn't really line up that well, but I mean,
Who cares? Whatever. Ugh. He goes on, he says, some fans couldn't accept that Luke failed at some point. Luke always had a glimpse of the dark side in him. The moment he went apeshit on Vader in Return of the Jedi, which is still my favourite scene in all of Star Wars. So it's not illogical that Luke thought for a moment he had to kill Kylo Ren. Full of regrets, he soured in exile. Johnson did a damn fine move to take all of Luke's epic spirit. At the beginning of the movie, the disappointing throwaway of his lightsaber, he drinks blue milk like a hobo, just to bring him back more epic than ever before the end. Johnson played with the expectations of the audience. It's brilliant. He installed a brand new hero's journey for Luke, which is much more subtle than his obvious first journey in A New Hope. His journey of realizing he was wrong to find the good in people,
yeah,
and that he should just give up on everyone and himself.
everybody's awful.
Yeah. I'm okay with Luke being like, okay, I can sense the evil in my nephew, I want to kill him, and then he changes his mind. If at the end of the film he says, I'm sorry, I should have never have done that, Kyle, and I'm not going to give up on you because you're my nephew and I love you. And then Kyle gets pissed off at that. But it's the fact at the end he's like, oh, whatever, we don't care about you anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to try and kill you.
We're just gonna push you to be more evil.
Yeah, exactly. You're
We're
pushing him away.
We're not gonna try and help you anymore, you know. We did all we could. You did nothing! You ran away!
Can you imagine at the end of Return of the Jedi if Luke shows up and he's like, I've given up on you, Dad, I don't care.
Okay, we're just gonna blow up everything now.
It would be pointless and stupid and ruin everything that was building up.
Yeah, like there's like some like novel that's about like, hey, what if Luke joined the Emperor?
That's interesting as a what if.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, Luke had that dark side in him, and it's good to see the elements of that come out. But it wasn't so much that he fell to the dark side, he was just a failure.
Yeah.
He wasn't good at being good or bad, and then he just ended up being like a piece of shit. That's not who Luke was. He's not, like, even Mark Hamill said himself in an interview recently where he's like, this isn't Luke Skywalker. I had to disconnect myself from Luke Skywalker when I was playing this guy.
Maybe he's Jake Skywalker. He's not my Luke Skywalker.
He's like, I don't think of him as Luke Skywalker. I think of him as some other guy that looks like Luke Skywalker. I've wondered how they could bring back Luke in a truly epic way. Everyone expected that Luke will be the wise old Jedi Master who still kicks damn ass. Well,
I didn't really think that he was going to come back as, like, wise Jedi Masters. Like,
no.
Because, like, since he went into exile, I was assuming he was going to be kind of like, just kind of like worn out or like weak.
I was thinking they'd bring him back like an Obi-Wan thing. He's just like, he fights with a lightsaber for one last time and then he dies. He's kind of strong in the Force, but he's an old hermit. But Obi-Wan isn't really a failure.
Yeah, well, like,
he made a mistake, and then he's trying to rectify that mistake. But Luke made a mistake, and then he gave up on life.
Yeah, but yeah, Obi-Wan's just like, well, I'll keep a mindful eye on the Chosen. Well, in all the expanded universe stuff, where like the Chosen One, the Chosen One is here. I'm waiting for the Chosen One.
I'm looking after him. I'm keeping. I'm making sure no one comes to take him.
I hate all that stupid stuff.
I love it. It's good.
It's just
Darth Maul comes to steal him at one point, and he's like, "Nah, fuck that."
Yeah. And then they have their final battle.
Yeah, Darth Maul just dies immediately. Yeah. Fuck rebels, man. But that would...
The Chosen... Is it really the Chosen One?
Has he come to save us all? They've ruined Darth Maul in that Rebel show.
Yeah.
He's kind of interesting in Clone Wars, but he's terrible in Rebels. But that would kind of be underwhelming. We have seen that with Yoda and kind of with Obi-Wan. Also, Luke isn't the main character anymore. He is the mentor. Mentors always die at some point. Yeah, that's fine. Just kill him off in a more interesting way. Have him show up to save Rey at the end, and then he waits until they're all in the Millennium Falcon, and then he just gives up and Kylo kills him. Why does he have to be a projection? That's dumb.
I did something though, right? No, you really did.
You gave up on everyone.
Look, you've made the situation worse. Sure, you helped people get away, but the overall...
You pissed him off!
Yeah.
You just made him angrier. Now he's gonna come back for even more revenge.
At first I was really angry, but now I'm full-on fucking pissed! Damn you, Luke Skywalker!
Oh man, am I gonna kill my mother when I get my hands on her? Should have blown her up on that ship. The character story Johnson built for Luke is genius. When Luke said, I came on this island to die, everyone assumed, oh well, of course he will change his mind, but he didn't. He gave them a map! Why did he give them a map if he wanted to die? It's not good writing. He's trying to fix things that Force Awakens set up that he didn't like.
I don't like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make Star Wars the way I want to. Disney? This is brilliant.
Yeah, well done. You took all the things in Star Wars I don't like, the things that make it Star Wars, and you put in horses and porgs. That's all I ever wanted.
Hey, those porgs.
So marketable.
Gotta hide those puffins somehow.
Oh yeah, that's something interesting. Tell the story about the porgs.
So, porgs, the greatest marketing material of all Star Wars ever.
The most adorable creatures ever, and more cuter than the Ewoks.
Yeah,
more marketable.
Hey, I love porgs.
Yeah,
they were made to make the planet look more alien because there were just a bunch of puffins flying around in shot. So they just turn them into porgs.
It turns out it's cheaper to pay a bunch of people to come up with a marketable character and sell it as a toy than to just cut out the aliens, cut out the puffins in the footage.
Well, yeah, because they can make money off of the porgs.
That's true.
They're only spending money to get rid of
So the best part of the film, the porgs, were made by complete accident.
Yeah, and that means
wonderful.
That means that Chewbacca did literally nothing in the movie apart from show up to Luke.
Fly Rey to a thing.
Yeah, and then have Luke meet him and be like, where's Han? For the where's Han bit.
Yeah, he breaks down a door. That would have been the only thing he did.
Yeah.
But he had some funny things with the porg where the porg saw him eating the porg and they were sad about it.
And then he got his porg sidekick.
Yeah, sits on his shoulder. I can't wait for the porg standalone movie. Like those Ewoks standalone. Like, oh, we'll get a porg animated adventure.
I really hope that porg does stick around.
Yeah, same. It's cute.
I hope it gets a name. Like, it just seems lazy just to call it porg.
Yeah, porg 1, porg 2.
Yeah, like Rey should just like give it a name because obviously Chewbacca can't really.
Well, they had BB-8, and then in this one they had BB-9E that was a black one. So in the future they'll just make the porg different colors so they can sell different versions of it.
Porg should get a medal.
Yeah,
Chewbacca won't get a medal, but
porg will get a tiny little medal.
And then he'll do his porg
the porg
noise.
turns out to be a Jedi. He can use the Force. That'd be so dumb. They'll probably do it.
Remember when Rey moved all those rocks? It was the porg. Luke trained all of those porgs.
Rey was never a Mary Sue. The porg was helping her out at all times.
The porg is even more powerful than Snoke.
Disney will make their own special editions and they'll edit in the porgs into all the original movies and the prequels. Fuck it. Anakin will be completely replaced with a porg.
Anakin will be 50 porgs in a costume.
Oh my god, I would watch that. Luke saves the Resistance, keeps his character motivation, finds peace and purpose, and finally goes away. His job is literally done. I can't think of a better farewell of any character in a recent blockbuster. It was fucking epic. His death scene was goddamn beautiful. Johnson fulfills his hero journey by also using visual storytelling. The different shots of the island were used massively as a storytelling instrument. I had fucking tears in my eyes. What really happens? How can you be disappointed by that? Do you really know any better destiny for Luke's character? Let me know. How about not giving up on his nephew? How about learning from literally doing the right thing in the Return of the Jedi and not just becoming a completely different character? How about he actually shows up at the end to try and convince Kylo Ren to turn good again and then sacrifices himself because he loves his nephew so much and he learned his mistakes?
How about he brings enough tit milk for everyone?
He just shows up with a bunch of milk?
Yeah.
I thought you all might be thirsty, so I brought some milk with me.
Yeah.
There was another comment, hold on, there was one that I thought was quite funny. Some guy was like, oh, they turned Luke into a tit milking beta cuck. That's so true. Tit milking beta cuck. That's our Luke. What a great farewell to his character. He milks a weird alien and then he dies for no reason. Why did Snoke need to die? He never was that great a deal of a character. He was just the hype that made him bigger than he actually is. I always thought he is some kind of Emperor ripoff. The new trilogy would have had exactly the same villain constellation as the original trilogy with Snoke as the Emperor and Kylo as Darth Vader. Would have been lame. Killing him was best for the story, and it makes sense. Snoke seems fucking strong, but Kylo seems more intelligent. He tricked him. Epic moment for me.
So basically, because they hadn't established this character yet,
yeah.
he was a bad character because they didn't establish him yet.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's good that they killed him off.
Why did they introduce him then?
Yeah, you could have just had Hux and Kylo Ren.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, the interesting thing about it is, how the fuck did he start this whole how did he take over the remnants of the Empire and rebuild?
Yeah.
And then he took out the entire Senate.
Yeah.
In one fucking strike using his army and and then
he was the most powerful Force user we've ever seen in the Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
he's moving people around. He was moving people around from the other side of the galaxy for all we know.
Yeah.
He was able to telepathically make two people communicate with each other across the galaxy.
Yeah, and manipulate their emotions and just...
And then he's just he closes his eyes and he's convinced Kylo Ren's gonna kill Rey. Yeah. Can he not see or feel the lightsaber moving next to him? What a fucking idiot.
Oh, don't worry. Well, it's because he's too focused on the dark side. He can't...
he was arrogant.
Remember, mind tricks are the Jedi way, so he knows too many of the evil things. So, as he may have been able to manipulate those people into developing some kind of relationship and caring for each other, maybe even, but he couldn't read the mind of a person who was directly in front of him.
Even though that's what Kylo Ren did in the last film. Oh, that's
another problem. Too much light in that Kylo Ren.
That's another disconnect between J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. J.J. Abrams set up Snoke. Don't know what he's going to be. The next director will figure it out. Oh, this is a character that isn't well established. I won't do anything with him. I'll kill him off.
He's what was the point of him? Powerful, I guess.
Yeah, and then who is he? Who cares? He's dead.
Yeah.
That's a waste of a character. Don't introduce him.
He is that first youngling that
Anakin kills.
Yeah. He didn't kill him. He slashed him across the face, and that's why he's got the big gash in his head. And he was just kind of hanging around.
He's 10 porgs in a trench coat.
A big gold coat tunic.
Oh my god. Dude, there were so many ridiculous fan theories, and if it turned out to be Plagueis, that could have been really cool. It's like, oh yeah, it was the master of the original Emperor, and then he's survived all these years, and he's taken the remnants of the old Empire, and he's rebuilt it, and he's the most powerful Sith user ever. And Rey and Kylo Ren together still aren't able to defeat him, and then he runs off, and then maybe he appears even stronger in the next one, and they have to have an army of Jedi to fight him. Literally fucking anything over, here's this character, who is he, and now he's dead. That was a waste of a character, don't include him. If Rian Johnson didn't like Snoke, don't include him. Let JJ do something with that in the next film.
Yeah, they could have not had him in this movie.
He didn't need to be in this movie. So that's why killing off Snoke is a dumb idea, because it's a waste of a character that they could have done anything with. He says here that the Finn/Rose storyline is useless. Here I can kind of agree with you. Well, yeah, it's there to sell toys of horses.
These characters go on an adventure and nothing happens because of it.
Yeah, exactly. And then they fail. And they bring back some guy that betrays them. What? Also, I read something that I was like, what the fuck? Wait, hold on, I think I have that comment. Dale Lee says, why didn't they save the slave kids along with the horses?
Because.
Just leave the kids. I only care about the horses.
Well, yeah, I mean, those kids, they're whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Star Wars doesn't care about slave kids? Strange movie and terrible, the worst Star Wars movie ever. Let's save those poor horses, but fuck the kids that are slaves. Through slavery, screw them. It's all about PETA and horses, animal rights.
Yeah, those kids are working. They're doing their fucking jobs.
They're children, though.
Yeah.
They were being whipped by that monster, man.
Yeah? How do you think Watto didn't whip a bunch of kids?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh yeah, because the entire plot of Star Wars up to this point has revolved around one guy saving a slave. And then they meet these slaves and they're like, bye, we rescued your horses. But not you. Fuck you. Because the last time somebody saved a child, he murdered many children himself. So we can't trust you.
Hey, the last time the slave child was freed, he took over the galaxy.
Yeah. So we ain't risking that.
That little kid with the ring. It's next Darth Vader right there. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. He was holding that broom. He was looking off at the distance. I mean, he was a white male, so he's probably going to be a villain at some point.
Yeah.
Can't have a good white male character. That would be racist, or whatever. This subplot ends with a big failure by Del Toro betraying the Resistance for the Empire. But it isn't that bad. DJ is a fine character.
Who?
Oh, wait, the guy with a lisp.
Oh.
He betrayed the team and he had a lisp. That was his character.
The guy who pretended to... Or he was helping them for money and then betrayed them for more money. His only character trait being that he likes money.
He had a lisp.
It's true.
That makes him a good character.
We have never had a character with this heavy of a lisp before.
That's true.
We're really excited to have the first really lispy character in a Star Wars.
We've always wanted to have a character that you couldn't understand more than one of the weird aliens.
Yeah. They have subtitles, he doesn't.
That's true. Yeah, remember Lando Calrissian in Empire Strikes Back? He was there, you don't really trust him, and then he betrays them, and then he's like, actually, I didn't want to do that, I was kind of blackmailed, let me help you. It's kind of a flip-flop. You never really know whether to trust him in that film. But then he gets his redemption at the end. DJ or whatever the fuck his name is, he had a lisp, he betrayed the team, he will likely never show up again. That's a bad character. If he does show up and they do something with him, then yeah, bravo, but who cares? I barely remember him in the film. I just remember he said some lines and he had a lisp. That was his character.
I think... Didn't BB-8 shoot him in the AT-ST?
Did he? Wait, did he kill him?
I don't know. Probably.
Oh, that scene where BB-8 drove an AT-ST and the roof came off the top, so you knew firsthand that it was BB-8. I thought it was going to be DJ. When the AT-ST started moving, I'm like, oh, DJ's going to have changed his mind like Lando Calrissian, but it's like, oh no, it's just BB-8.
No, money.
Mary's suing it up. Money.
Yeah, money.
Till the very end of the movie, I waited for a justification. What the point of the whole Canto Bait plot was. Remember how Hodel/Poe... Is Holdo... Was that the purple-haired feminist?
Probably. Yeah. That's
remember how Holdo/Poe talked about, we are the spark that lights the resistance? The kid with the broom on Canto Bait literally wears the resistance ring with a spark on it. You may find it cheesy, but Star Wars always kind of was. Okay, they have a ring. That's fine. Oh, look, we have a ring. We work for the rebellion. That's fine, if it's a rusty old rebellion ring. But it's a very obvious toy. She twists a little lever thing at the bottom, and it appears the Jedi rebellion ring, and then she closes it. That's dumb. Why did you need to hide it in the first place? If you don't want to show that you're working for the rebellion, you don't wear the ring.
Man, all these people have these weird rings. Then what if somebody finds out how the ring works and they go,
hey, why do you have a ring that has nothing on it, but it's got a weird dial underneath? Oh my god, it's a rebellion logo. That means you're working for the rebellion. The kid's like, why the fuck was I wearing this ring? It just gave me away. I thought it was a good idea to hide the symbol on the ring, but it ended up being pointless. It was made to sell toys. That was it. Oh, the kids will love those weird rings.
hey kids, do you want to show that you're against the government? Here's a ring.
Do you hate Trump? Buy our new rebellion ring. Beat up Nazis in the street.
Remember, they're the resistance.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're the rebellion now that the First Order is
or in
taken
charge,
over.
or who knows. They don't explain that at all.
The Senate is dead.
Yeah, because they blew them all up.
Are we an empire again, or is there a new Senate?
Who knows? Are we in charge? Who's in charge? We're
Is
just
Kylo
fighting.
Ren in charge of the galaxy? Is he the empire now?
Who knows? We're chasing them. Are they in charge still? Does anyone know who's in? Do people on other planets even know what's happening right now?
How many people actually know that the Senate has been destroyed? Is it
Who knows?
everybody? Is it some people?
Who knows?
It's only been like 2 days since that happened.
Exactly. Oh, the Force Awakens and The Last Jedi happened within the space of a day or two, and it flip-flops to Rebels in charge, and then, oh no, the Empire's in charge. The regular-ass Joe sitting on the planet will have no idea that any of this happened, because it just happened to like a small fleet out in the middle of nowhere. Number 5, the humor was awful. That's subjective. I like the dry humor more than the uncanny Lucas humor in the prequels. You mean Star Wars humor?
Yeah, like...
I don't like Jar Jar. Jar Jar Binks isn't funny, but the comedy in like Revenge of the Sith is quite cute, with like Obi-Wan saying his like little catchphrases and stuff, and
Hello
R2
there.
skating around. Yeah,
Hello there.
yeah. It's the bit when they're in the Battle of Coruscant, and he's just like, well, at least we're flying half a ship. And just all that kind of stuff.
Not to worry, we are still flying half a ship.
R2D2's like, oh, I need to help you, and then the droids find him, and he burns them to death. That's great. The humor in this was just like at the expense of a serious scene. It was like that weird fucking scene I forgot to talk about where like Luke's showing Rey how to use the Force and like she's moving rocks or whatever, and he takes a leaf and starts tickling her hand. She's like, oh, I feel the Force, and he's like, oh, it's the Force. Do you feel the Force? And it's like, this is weird and awkward, and this was a dramatic scene that's now ruined. And I can't remember most of the film because I tried to block it out of my brain because it was so awful. But I just remember every time there was a joke, I'm like, that killed the tension. Like at the beginning, as I said, you're establishing Hux as a villain, and then Poe's like, well, fuck you, Hux. What was the point?
Hey,
You
look.
just made your villains look weaker.
Yeah, like, we had some success with these Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Exactly.
Let's just... Star Wars kind of looks like Guardians of the Galaxy,
Exact-
right? Let's just make
Exactly. He says here, he's like, it's true, the humor is inspired by Marvel movies. No, the humor's from Marvel movies. The humor is just Marvel movie humor. And I don't even like most of the Marvel movie humor. Some of it works. Korg from Thor Ragnarok, he
yeah.
works. Nothing else works.
that. That's not even Marvel movie humor. That's just humor.
Yeah, that's
It
just
somehow
Teiji
found its way
Wakiki or
in.
whatever the fuck is this South African, not South African, New Zealand humor. But that doesn't mean it's bad. Star Wars is no Stanley Kubrick or Terrence Malick movie. Also, the jokes are rarely random. They always underline the characters or their motivations. He says underline, I think he meant undermine. It's like, oh, it's Luke Skywalker, he's getting his lightsaber back, and he throws it away. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! I don't like Luke Skywalker. I'm happy that he doesn't like Anakin or everything he worked towards in Return of the Jedi. What a funny joke. The only joke that worked was when Chewbacca ate the porg.
Yeah.
That was genuinely cute. And then number 6, he says, but the porgs were random and childish. We never said that. I love the porgs.
I know, the porgs are great.
They're stupid and pointless. And it's like, I think he said at some point, he's like, yeah, he says here, he's like, yeah, they were, but they didn't take down the Empire like the Ewoks did. Exactly! The Ewoks served a purpose in Return of the Jedi. They brought down the Empire. The porgs were there to cover up the puffins.
Yeah.
So they were just there to sell toys and cover up puffins. Cute, yeah. My favorite part of the movie, yeah, but entirely pointless.
Yeah. Like, Ewoks, they were there because it was cheaper to hire a bunch of midgets rather than hire a bunch of, like, 7 feet tall guys.
Yeah, they're gonna have Wookiees. And they say that it was like, oh, I think it was, they said George Lucas was like, oh, well, we didn't want to show a planet of Wookiees that were, like, uncivilized, because that would be like, well, then is Chewbacca civilized? But when really it was like, oh, it's cheaper to hire midgets.
Yeah.
It would be easier to sell Ewok toys, because we already sell Chewbacca toys. No one's gonna want all the collection of Wookiees, but No one has an Ewok yet. Opposed to the Porg. Oh boy, they're completely different.
Yeah.
They're really important to the film. They're definitely not there to just sell toys. This movie was made to sell Porgs, horse toys, and weird rebellion rings.
I should get that horse toy. I feel like at this point talking about it so much I need to buy it.
Did you see in the music video I made, I put her riding the horse toy? I was quite happy with that. Yeah, so I told him I ended up getting into a heated debate with this guy because I disagreed with everything he said. It's interesting to hear what other people say about the film, even if I completely disagree with everything he said. But, whatever. If you like the film, if you like a movie that was made to sell horse toys to little girls, then good for you. You know, it doesn't affect us. This guy says, amazing review, liked and subbed. I honestly think Disney and the elite are using Star Wars to piss people off in this high climate of politics. Keeps us fighting like sheep. Every character in the movie is designed to infuriate. This is a big experiment that has two-pronged effect. Indoctrinating our kids with propaganda/brain molding, plus pissing off the older generation by destroying what we love, with shoehorned, diverse characters of the most obvious stereotypical type. It even pisses off the African Americans, which is true, because Finn's just a useless character in the first one. It's designed to trigger everyone at this moment in time. Open your eyes and see the game. Star Wars is no more. Forget Star Wars forever. It's now an indoctrination tool for kids. People are greedy evil fucks that want to turn your children into quivering snowflake cucks. People want to escape real life in the social media, political fake news climate that we all currently live and lose ourselves just for 2 hours in a fantasy sci-fi adventure. Disney says fucks you and rubs your nose back into the bullshit politics. Agendas! I would argue that this movie is pure evil, nothing without design. I agree wholeheartedly. I hate Disney so much. They're becoming the first galactic empire. They own fucking 20th Century Fox or 21st Century Fox now. This one was quite, this one made me sad. It's like, this made my 13-year-old son cry when he left the theater. He went to bed without dinner, and in the morning he had thrown all of his Star Wars stuff in the trash.
Good for him.
Exactly!
He should find some better role models.
He should.
Unless it's prequel stuff. Tell him to keep any prequel stuff.
Yeah, but don't, he should find a better role model, but not Anakin. Don't kill children.
Nah, Anakin did some good work.
He killed all the sand people.
Not just
the men, but the woman and the children. They were animals, and I slaughtered them like animals.
Yeah.
Marries him. I love that scene. Oh yeah, it was his birthday too, so I feel like the worst fucking father ever for ruining my son's birthday by taking him to see this piece of crap we waited 2 years for. What a shame. I was like, hey, if this kid likes Luke Skywalker, buy him Jedi Academy or some of the books or something, and just say, hey, The Last Jedi never happened. It's not real. It's an illusion.
Buy him a DVD copy of Time Warrior to make up for it.
Yeah, sure. We've referenced that in the Jumanji podcast. Not this one.
Sure. Okay, buy him a DVD copy of... Make him watch...
Spaceballs.
Make him... That's true. Make sure that he watches Spaceballs if he hasn't. And make him watch Erased on Netflix.
What's that?
It's a good show.
Huh.
Well, I mean, it's an okay show. It's based on a good manga with a good anime. Now they've got a live action show.
2 very boring minutes later.
Clutch MC22, our favourite subscriber, he says, Ryan Johnson is 5'6". He's shorter than Daisy Ridley. Hashtag manlit. That is all. Dan, how tall are you?
5'7".
Size matters not.
Size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you?
You dickhead?
I'm an average heighted person.
Yeah, it's an average height.
Like I will say 5'7" through 5'10" is considered the average.
Uh-huh.
And like 5'11" through like 6'2" is kind of considered tall. Then everything above that is freak height.
Freak height? What, you mean like me?
Yeah.
Everything's small to me because I'm 6'3". To look down on everyone. Everyone looks like porgs to me. Ah!
That's the porg noise, right?
Yeah. Ah! I can't even remember the porg noise. I saw a whole bunch of memes recently where it's like people are playing the Imperial March with the porg sound effects. Just so stupid.
Oh, fuck.
So yeah, everybody, thanks for liking and subscribing. We've reached a new subscriber count now. I hope you enjoyed this comment reading out video. If you want to have your comments...
I wouldn't like this comment reading video. I've been asleep through half of it.
I've noticed that. But if you liked it, thanks for subscribing. Be sure to email us in at wastingtimepost@gmail.com. We'll read out your emails. If you've got anything to say about films that we've reviewed or films that we haven't reviewed, or maybe you've got some questions for us, or maybe you want to pitch us a movie. Like in that Rogue One review we did where we pitched the movie idea of the Jar Jar Binks political career documentary where he crumples under the pressure and then his wife leaves him. So if you got any mad ideas for films like that you want us to come up with, then give us an email and we'll respond to you.
Also, it's a Watto for life.
Yeah, we could give us an idea for a Watto movie and we'll pitch that.
Oh, I've already got the idea.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, a Watto for life.
Watto wishes he was never born, and then he sees a life where Anakin's a free child.
Yeah, and he
then
sees all the horrors that can happen. And so he
all these slaves are free.
So then he has to whip all his slaves back into shape, make sure he doesn't make the next Darth Vader by freeing
No, Anakin doesn't become Darth Vader because Watto doesn't have him as a slave. He goes free and he lives a nice life, and then the galaxy's at peace and he's like, can't have that.
I get to whip all these slaves. Remember Star Wars Racer where you start off pretty swell?
I love that game. You ever play that terrible Phantom Menace game on PS1?
Yeah.
It's awful. Every time you jump, you have no idea how far you're going to go because the camera angle's just the worst.
Yeah. And force jump. Can I use that?
Well, I think it's time for your bed. You seem tired. Bye, everybody. Fuck all of you.